welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the BFNL Netball Show for another week. Fantastic to be back joining you once again, talking about all things in the BGT A-grade netball competition here in the Ballarat Football Netball Leagues. I'll put my teeth back in. Shaun Kelly's my name. Kim Bailey joins me as always. Kimmy, welcome back.
Thanks, Shawnee.
Great to be back once again for the Netball Show. A little bit of service interruption last week, but we're back up and flying now, and great to be back up on the airwaves.
Yeah, we've had a couple of really good games netball since the bit of the break with the malfunction.
Yes.
But yeah, so it's really some surprise results, some very close results this weekend. So it's really starting to hot up now.
Yeah, it certainly is. Let's have a look at the main talking points from the past weekend. And we talk about close matches throughout the weekend, but the first one we're going to look at was a bit of a blowout. Sunbury defeating Melton 66-28. Sunbury making a bit of a statement in this game, I think, where we've spoken about them and we've looked at their shooting end and thought that it wasn't quite up to snuff this year. And then a Sunbury player goes out and shoots 57 goals on the weekend. Yeah,
Amanda Cusack, who actually plays B grade for Lions last year.
Yep.
Very, very tall player, very aggressive player under the ring, which is what you want in A grade.
It is.
So she did a really great job, 57 goals. Percentages were pretty good. She shot around the 78% mark, I think it was. So that was pretty good, and she was supported by Beck Anstey, in there as well. So when you've got someone feeding you, and you have Prue Stanley around the court as well, who can feed, it makes a big difference. Amanda's really a smart player as well. So, it's great that they've actually found someone. Whether she stays there or not, I think they'll still be on the look because that B grade team for them is really strong as well. But there's no doubt that she could stay there and mix it with the big girls. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, it's great to see because as we spoke about in the first netball show a couple of weeks ago, it was the one question mark that we had over the Sunbury lineup was that shooting end. So if they can get that together, they're going to be really, really dangerous this year.
Yeah, they will be. They still most probably, would like to find a true goal attack because you take Beck out of there and you do lose, as we've said before, you do lose some of that drive down the court that you need. But she's really smart. And Rachel Dovison had a great game. So
again,
so that's great to see that she's filling that void. So and I'd like to see Beck back down there, and I'm sure she's dying to get back down there. But you look at their team. They've got Monique Clark, who's just coming back from a knee injury. She's had quite a severe injury. She's really tall though, so she's most probably just as tall as Beck, maybe even a little bit taller, and really athletic. So her and Rachel could actually work really well in that combination and stick together. On the other side, Renee Hulls, who's
put herself in the best players again. Well done, Halsey.
Good on you, Halsey. No, but she had a really good game and shot the majority of the goals as well. Very, very experienced player. Heading off to indoor nationals as we speak. She's up in Mackay. So, without the support, they were defenders down this week as well. We know that both of their defenders were out, so they really missed them too. But it was an opportunity to blood some young kids up there, which they did. And I'm pretty sure that they'll be out to avenge that big margin in the next game.
Yeah, they will be. We'll talk about that very shortly. Before we do, though, you just mentioned close games before. Wasn't too many closer than the game between East Point and Ballarat on the weekend. It was a 2-goal win to East Point. No more than 2 goals separated them at any break in the game. And I reckon Ballarat, it was one of those games where they didn't win the points, but in many other ways they won on the weekend.
I think they've earned themselves lots of respect, haven't they?
Certainly have.
And you just look at their stats as well. The shooting, the shots that East Point have were about 70 shots to 50. So East Point had the majority of the play in the ring. They just couldn't convert. Kelly Moran had an outstanding game from what I hear. And
it's really helping having Sinead Cunningham in goal attack as well because they played really, really well together. And I was speaking to some people about this over the weekend. They reckon she's the perfect player to play with Kelly because she's so good at being able to feed, but also standing back and taking her own shot when they try and double down on Kelly. Yeah,
and that's what you want to do. You want a goal attack who's confident and can shoot. So, it's no good. She shot 13 from 25, so the percentages were most probably down close to 50%. But if she's that supporting goal, like Jenny McCartan is to Jordan Bibby, so that can be a really lethal combination. Fantastic result. They've got to be really proud of themselves. Katie Lindquist and Michaela George played really well. Michaela's heading back into some of her great form. And Katie, we've already spoke about her previously. She's a really strong defender, and that tussle between her and Emma was fantastic, apparently. So, yeah, really, really great sides. East Point, though, good teams win in close games.
They do.
And they are a good team, and I'm pretty confident they'll still be right up there.
Yeah, a couple of close games to start the season for East Point as well, with the draw the week before. So they are going along quite nicely at the moment. And then our talking point for the weekend, number 3, the 50th game on the weekend for Sebastopol coach Georgia Can, and celebrated in style with a win over Melton South as well.
Also turning 30, so happy birthday, Georgia, for the...
Kim wanted to mention that, Georgia, not me. Sorry.
And she did it with the best on-court performance as well. The Can girls were in form, big time. 24 from 27 for Georgia and 21 from 25 for Adriana. So great shooting stats, and that's hard for any team to combat in that regard. So
yeah, it certainly is.
A big win. And Sebastopol they're on the board. Banner had a really good game too. Again, Mountain South are blooding their kids. Paris Disco, as we said, the best name.
Paris Disco, that is an awesome name.
Best name. And Erin Can as well. They're bringing their young kids through.
Yep.
Alexis Climbers came off, I think, with a little bit of asthma. So before that, she was shooting 9 from 10, so 90%, which is awesome.
Which is awesome, yeah.
Yeah, so... You know, Sebastopol are up and about. So had a win in the footy, win for the netball. Good weekend all round.
They are indeed. The family club down at Sebastopol going along very nicely this year to start the year. And they've got a pretty big game this week as we start looking at round 3, Kimmy, because they take on Melton. Melton yet to open their account for the season. Sorry, no, they did. They beat Melton South the week before, yes. So I apologise for that. But Sebastopol, both teams now going in 1-1 actually. Sebastopol would be really keen to get this win, and if Melton don't have Renee Hulls in the team, that could really change the outlook of this game. Yeah,
Hulls is out, and I think a couple of their defenders are out as well. They're still at Nationals. So I think this should be a comfortable win for Sebastopol. Especially that combination with Georgia and Adriana is really... It'll become more comfortable and comfortable every week, and I think they'll have a comfortable win this week.
And if they're getting their shooting percentages right up, as you mentioned before, then that does spell trouble for the other teams, because if they get going, then they're going to be a really good side this year, Sebast. And we're both tipping them to win against Melton this weekend. East Point take on Bacchus Marsh this weekend. Bacchus Marsh have been competitive in both of their games to start the season. Caught snippets of their game against Darley on the weekend, and they looked okay in passages. Just obviously still learning to play with each other, because they're basically all brand new players in there. I think Jacinta Reid was about the only player that I recognised, and then Emily Bettio last year's under 17 best and fairest as well.
They're not that tall either.
Not really.
Which is a bit of a worry. You need tall timber, regardless of who you are. It could be the best team in the world. You need tall timber, and I don't think they've got it at the moment.
That being said, East Point aren't the tallest side going around either. They're a very even height, East Point. They've got players that play tall, but physically they've had some tall defenders that have created problems for them in the last fortnight, with Jordan Bibby and Kelly Moran. Sorry, some tall goals.
Yeah, that's true. I was talking to Dean yesterday actually, and he is ecstatic with the start of the Bacchus coach. He's ecstatic with the start, and he loves his netball, and it's so... lovely to see someone who's got so much passion for the game and loves it so much. So he's a great coach to have in our league, I think. And he's off at mixed indoor nationals as well at Mackay. So he'll be away this week, but I think East Point will have a comfortable win. Yeah,
I think East Point should get over the line in this one as well. Interesting game down at Wendouree Reserve this weekend. Lake Wendouree taking on Ballarat. It's match of the round for mine. This will be very interesting. I know that the Lake Wendouree Spies were trying to get out to the night game at between Ballarat and East Point last week to try and get a look at Ballarat. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this one goes, because Lake Wendouree obviously with some new faces in the team this year. Steph Burns, a goal attacker, of course, former premiership player at Redan, returning to the league this year. Made a bit of a difference for them, her and Chrissy James in their kind of new look shooting end this week. But of course Ballarat going along great guns at the moment, and I sniff an upset.
So do I. You can't believe I'm saying this, but I think it'll be a really close game. Ballarat have got their tails up too. I think they'll be going in that game full of confidence. But their defence is pretty awesome too. Mel Allen is coming off some great form as well in BFNL. It'll be really close, but I'm going to go Ballarat.
Ballarat for mine as well. Remiss of us when we were talking about Bacchus Marsh before, though, not to mention their team of the era that was announced on Saturday night, their best team from throughout their BFL era, and I suppose an appropriate time to talk about it now because a player playing with Lake Wendouree at the moment, Katie Williams, named as the starting wing attack in their team of the era. So well done, Katie.
Well done.
Fantastic team as well, captained by Mariah Deacon and coach Frank Pavlovich as well. A really, really strong side of players that have represented Bacchus Marsh over the years, and congratulations also while we're on a Bacchus Marsh to Lauren Prout, who played her 300th game for the club on Anzac Day as well. A great achievement.
300 games, that is awesome. Absolutely awesome. And I think Bernie Walsh was administrator as well.
Yes, she was.
Yeah, so well done to everyone down there. That's a great achievement.
Yeah, fantastic work by those players, and Katie, the only current player in that side as well, even though not playing with Bacchus Marsh at the moment, the only current player in the league. So well done to all involved in the Bacchus Marsh team of the era. Darley taking on Sunbury this weekend. Darley, a good win on the weekend and are coming along quite nicely to start the season as well, but going to be a tough game against Sunbury this weekend, who we spoke about in detail earlier in the show and who will start as favourites in this one.
Yeah, again, they're not the tallest team, Darley, and I think if Amanda does play in shooter, they won't be able to stop her. And you got Prue Stanley running down the middle. I just think their experience will get over the top of Darley, and they'll have relatively easy win as well. Yeah,
I think the same as well. Sunbury going along nicely at the moment now that they found that shooter that we said they were missing in recent weeks. Last game for the round, Redan taking on Melton South. Another very, very interesting game because I give Melton South a chance in this game. Redan still getting to learn each other's game styles. Played a pretty good game against North City for half a game from what I hear on Saturday. Made some moves at three-quarter time that didn't quite pan out. Changed their momentum a little bit. Redan will start as favourites and should win, but Melton South could really give them a scare.
Look, Mountain South is so young. I just don't think they'll cope with the likes of Emma Henry, who had an outstanding game from what I'm hearing too on the weekend. Tash Dack didn't play. I think she only played half a game.
Played half a game.
Yeah, because we had BFNL commitments on Sunday.
Yep.
So, their lineup was thrown around a bit. Ruby Perry had a great game, 17 from 29. Melton South are on the build, but I just think their inexperience might be too much for them this week, and I think Redan will win.
Yeah, tipping Redan as well, but I don't know, I've just got that feeling that Melton...
Shaun, you should go Melton South.
I should, but I'm not going to, because the Redan girls don't like it when I tip against them, and they tend to tell me if I tip against them and they win, but tends to get
their result on the weekend, 41-28 against North Ballarat. That was a pretty good game when you look at that result.
There was not much in at half time from what I hear as well.
Defensively, to keep North to 41 goals is a really good effort.
Yeah,
that's a great effort when you've got really high percentage shooters like from Jordan, who normally shoots around 40-45 goals a game. So they did really well.
They did indeed, and that's their strength, their defensive end, with Emma Henry and Jordan Lever down there doing great things for Redan at the moment. That's all the time we've got for the Netball show this week. Kimmy, fantastic to have you back in and talking netball once again this week.
Yeah, great to be back.
And looking forward to doing it again next week and every week throughout the 2016 season here on the BFNL Netball Show. Thanks to BGT. We look forward to seeing you again next week.